Welcome back, everybody, to the Reality Miniverse podcast, where I am interviewing a bunch of different reality stars based on different criteria. Some of them I knew before, some of them I've met after. But one thing is in common, they all are involved somehow with Reality Miniverse. And this guy is no stranger himself. This is somebody that honestly I would consider one of my best friends. I talk to this guy every single day, whether it's about, and honestly, rarely about reality TV, more so about things like Star Wars and Marvel and just like random questions that we have about those subjects. So this is a completely different beat for us, but I'm so excited to like hop into this thing that, and here's the thing, I don't even know if he realizes how much of a fanboy I am of him, but I am going to be glazing him here today a little bit because I honestly think that this is one of the best players to ever play the circle. And yeah, I'm super honored to bring in my good buddy, Alex Brizard. How's it going?
Ah, wow, what an intro. My friend, good to see you. Good to see you. Happy to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Oh my gosh, you just I'm blushing now. I've totally lost my train of thought. That was a beautiful intro. Thank you for
Well, let me
that.
start with this. I'm going to say this as a preference, right? I am not a Circle super fan,
Of
right?
course.
Like this, I saw a couple seasons. I don't even think I saw all three before I ended up seeing yours.
Yeah,
And even now, I haven't seen all of them. So, I say that
I get
a
it.
little tongue in cheek. From what I've seen, honestly, nobody plays the game like you for sure, though. And I'm excited to like dive into your thoughts about like
Yeah.
how you came up with this an interesting game. So,
Yes. Oh, I'm super excited. It's been a while for me because it aired years ago now. It aired in 2022. And yeah, aired it. So I filmed it at the end of 2021 and it aired 2022. And I'll be honest, it feels like a lifetime ago. It's not really that long ago, but it feels like it. So I'm excited to talk about it though.
cool. So what's up with you since? I mean, it's been so long. Has
Gosh.
your life has changed at all?
Yeah, I mean, I got a condo, married my then girlfriend Nikki, who's my now wife. Life has been good. We got a cat. I tell people this all the time because I get asked quite often, "Do you want to go back out to reality TV?" And I was like, and I'm not saying this any sort of way. I feel very content with my 15 minutes of fame, not in like a derogatory way. Like I got to experience it, and then I got to go back to my normal life, which I kind of appreciate.
Alex, when I even just talk about the people I've interviewed thus far, I don't even know if you really understand what a miracle kind of run you had on this show because you really kind of got to be the star. You got to be the star. You got to be the I should have won player, in my opinion. Like I
Yeah,
really feel like you were really blessed with this season, and I mean, it's no luck, right? You really earned it, I think.
I think I consider my blessings very so there are some people who leave shows, not even just saying this one, that leave shows and they feel very upset about what their edit, what's shown, this that whatever, it's too much, it's too little, they left out important things. I feel extremely blessed that my edit is extremely representative of my time out there. And the one thing that I can visibly point to that was left out was like an extremely boring conversation. So it's no harm, no foul. So like I feel very much so. I appreciate all the, oh my gosh, the should have ones, the very ends. I think for me, I went out there to my goal from the jump before I ever like entered the apartment was the circle was like a new and fresh game. I had seen up to season 3. I finished season 3 finale and then I went into the apartment the next day. So my fellow competitors had not even been able to finish season 3 because I entered like a couple days late. I
Interesting.
wanted, yeah, I know it is so
It's
crazy
almost
that
an
they
advantage, is it? You think?
well, maybe. I went in there trying to model my game after season 3 winner who was a late player, so it impacted it. But my whole goal going in there was a lot of the circle felt very vibes. I'll handle that later, whatever. I wanted to go in and be like, there is a proactive game you can be playing here, and there is a way to slide into an appropriate spot at the finale to give yourself the best chance of winning. And so that was what I was doing, and I was like, I'm gonna make big, flashy, bold splash moves. Like I'm gonna win. I'm gonna do it spectacularly. And so I appreciate what you're saying. I feel very content with my time out there. And that's part of the reason I'm so excited to talk about it is it's, you know, a little waxing poetic for me. I get to enjoy it once more.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's step back a little bit because I'm curious. I mean, and this is like a question I have for everybody is like, how did you end up on your show specifically? Because I know you were like, well, you were originally a Survivor fan. Like, that wasn't
That's
your
right.
first reality experience. So, what was it about the circle that drew you to it?
Yeah, that is a great question. I grew up watching Survivor. I've been watching since I was 6 years old with my family, and then by myself, and then through high school, through college. It's always been with me my whole life. I eventually get into Big Brother down the road, and so that is Big Brother is what opens my door to the reality TV world. In all honesty, because it was just Survivor for me for so many years, and then I remember June 1st, 2020. I'm scrolling Netflix with my brother Brendan. We're both big Survivor fans, and we're like, Netflix has a reality TV competition show, The Circle, and we're like 4 episodes. Okay, yeah, let's watch it, and we were hooked. It was so interesting. It was so fascinating. Season one, there is a bit of like a lightning in a bottle. Like it'll never be recreated. It is very like season one of Survivor. It's just never gonna be the same from that again. And I knew that I didn't like go out and apply instantly, but I knew this was something I'd be interested at. I was like, I think either catfishing, playing myself, like this is so fun. I genuinely, when it hit my screen, I felt like it was like a modern day version of like what Survivor was back in 2000, like the social experiment of it all. It's a very modern day with you know everyone talking, communicating online. So for me, I got involved the minute it hit Netflix. I was a fan, a big fan. And then on season two, I had a very good friend of myself and you as well, who got to grace our screens and play. Jack Atkins, who played Emily in season two. And so like once he was on, I was like, I'm doing it. I was like, I got to. And so like, you know, he would give me some tips and whatnot. And yeah, I just applied and they called me back, and that's how I got into it. But it was really Jack that I was like, you know what? If this guy can do it, I can do it. Oh, you're muted. You're muted.
There we go. That's not gonna be the first time. Would there be? Was there ever any doubt about being a catfish for you when the idea of you playing, like, was it always like accompanied with you being a catfish, or did you ever consider playing as yourself?
I think for me, I always was gonna play a catfish, but what I will say, and people ask this, is like, I was not required to play a catfish, but I will say my casting director made it very clear my chances of being cast were much higher if I was willing to probably play a catfish, which I was willing to do. But I did note in the moment, I was like, man, if someone didn't want to play a catfish and they heard that, I wonder how they would have to grapple with that. So I always wanted to play a catfish. Like, I guess they maybe could have twisted my arm into playing myself, but I just didn't really see much benefit to that.
Yeah. So another interesting thing with everybody that I interview is kind of this transition from either online games or live games. I think in your experience, this is almost a even weirder connection because you did come from like online reality games, and then this is also an online reality game.
I know.
Right? Like
Yeah,
it is
it's great.
very weird and very meta in that way. So like, was the translation as simple? Do you feel like you learned a lot from orgs, and did it prepare you for the circle?
Yeah, I actually think I learned my most valuable skills I learned from orgs are not like, oh, when should I be pulling this maneuver or when should I be looking to do the votes? You can write down seven's the best time to flip this, that, whatever. The best thing an org will do for you is one, it's going to prepare you for the adrenaline rush of eliminations because that will cause people to make mistakes and overtalk. And because if you're not used to that adrenaline rush of panic that hits before you might be eliminated or like something big's going to happen, a twist, the, it, there's not many things like it. I'm assuming it's like probably what like skydivers honestly feel. Like I hate being that guy, but it is like when you're up for elimination and you're waiting for results, that adrenaline hits and it's hard to manage that. You need to know that. And so for me, an org with an audience, I went through like the pressures of like possibly having to be eliminated, like making myself look like a fool. Those are the things an org prepares you for more than anything. And I think it's worth doing just once. Like I ended up when I found out I was probably going to be on the circle, I played a circle org before. I was like, you know what, let's give this a try. And I don't want to say like there's like tangible things I took from that experience. I think it is more so just like getting your feet wet. Like if you were going to go play like in Wimbledon, that wouldn't be the first. You don't want that to be the first time you're hitting the court. There is an aspect of like, it's nice to do one playthrough, even if it's not the full thing. It's still nice to have that little bit of practice.
Interesting. I've never thought of it that way. So I know specifically this audience is gonna want to know: did you play an LRG before? And if not, would you play an LRG now?
I had not played any live reality games. Honestly, before COVID hit, me and my brother Brendan were planning an LRG. We watched like a lot of them online. So like Survivor Maryland, like that sort of stuff we were very into. So I've never played a live, I mean, I've played the circle, but I haven't played like a live reality game in that sense. Yeah, I totally would be open to it. It's not a matter of me being against it or not. I just love the game. I have a busy schedule, so traveling sometimes is a little hard for me, but I just love the game. I would totally play LRG. Hell yeah.
Okay. All right. Now you're going to get scouted. So
yeah. Oh yeah. That's the, the DMs are open. They're coming. I can feel it.
Okay, now that you're actually cast on the show, at what point do you find out you're gonna be a late addition, and does that like change your perspective? Are you like completely disappointed, or like how do you feel about that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I gotta back up one step to fully explain it. When I was filming The Circle, it was in Manchester. It was in England. It's no longer there. They have a house here in the U.S., but that was where it was filmed when I went.
Sounds like they should have done that from the get-go, right? I mean, it's kind of ridiculous they all had to fly all the way over. I don't know, maybe not.
It was cheaper, apparently. I don't know the math, but it also was a British show. The home was already there before Netflix got a hold of the U.S. rights. And so we flew out there, so before I fly out there, they tell us, hey, there's going to be, anywhere from 10 to 14 of you guys that we cast for the season. We fly out about 18 to 20 people is what they said. And we film all of your introductions, and then we choose who to send in and when. So there is an aspect of they're going to send 8 people to Manchester to film just an intro package and then send you right back to the US. I am particularly nervous for this outcome because before I got the call saying, hey, you're going to Manchester, 2 days before, I was actually denied. I had made it extremely far into the casting process, and I got a call, and they were like, hey, we love you. It's not going to be this year. Maybe next season. We're so sorry. And I was devastated. I was just so torn up. Yeah. And then 2 days later, the head of casting, so the first person's boss, called me and was like, hey, just kidding. We are going to send you. And I was like, what? I was really taken aback by that. But so, in my mind, I'm already an alternate. I am already one of these 8 people they are sending for a cushion. And so, I spend my intro package making sure they need to cast me.
Okay.
So, I am not thrilled to hear I'm going to be a late entry. But when they tell me I'm going to be a late entry, they confirm I'm going to be on the season.
Gotcha. So at that point, you're like, you never even consider. You're just grateful to be there, right?
I'm just grateful to be there. I'll take it. And they said, I'm not confirming, but it's going to be soon, they said for me. Like, get ready. And I was like, okay. But they tell me, they call me. I don't know this. And they go, so the game started this morning. And I was like, oh, damn it. No, you're kidding me. And so I don't know what that means. I was like, am I going home? And they were like, we are sending home 6, however many people. I don't remember the exact number. They're like, we are not sending you home, though. You are going to go into the game and play. And I was like, that's fine. I can handle being a late player. If anything, it adds to the spectacularness of my entry or of my win that I'm envisioning. And I think that as a catfish, coming in late fits my play style of I was trying to be like a little brother and sponge information. And so I was initially bummed. I mean, the dream is you want to be one of the starting 8, 7, whatever it is. They have the best shot. They end up doing the most generally, but I actually loved the spot I came in. And in retrospect, I absolutely think it was perfect for me.
Okay, so I guess this kind of even goes back to your casting a little bit, but at what point and how did you decide on being Nathan specifically? I know this is somebody you even maybe just kind of knew, so can you give me the story of Nathan a little bit?
So, I knew that the pitch. So, it's all gonna sound so schemy. I know the casting directors want someone playing the total opposite of themselves. In my mind, though, I'm a gamer. I'm trying to play something that I can actually believably pass off. I was in a fraternity in college. I never told casting that. Never once does it come up. The pitch I give them is I'm the uber nerd Dungeons and Dragons, and I'm going to play the 21-year-old hotshot gym bro buff athlete guy. And so it was always the plan for me to play young frat dude. And so I started looking for someone. I was going to play my brother Brendan, and in all honesty, and I thought about maybe playing a girl. And so I pitched a girl as well. And those were my first two. And they were like, it's not, they're like, these are good, but like something that would maybe stand out a bit more. And so Brendan at the time had a roommate who, as we now know him, is Nathan. His real name is Max. And Brendan just sent me a photo of him like in the gym, and I go, this is exactly what I need. And it was perfect. It's just what I needed, even down to the red hair. Like it's perfect. Because I kept telling them, I go, who in their right mind is going to assume that someone's going to catfish as a redhead? No one's going to think that. You're muted.
I'll keep doing that. Okay, so now that you've come into the game, one thing that I note immediately, and I'm curious, and maybe this is just like me not being a huge fan of the circle, maybe you'll have to catch me up to speed a little bit, but you come in, and my perception of your game immediately is you are aggressive. You're immediately trying to get information. Did you come in feeling like every second you needed to take an opportunity? Because that was kind of what came across in the edit.
Yes, I have a good friend, Jack, who has now given me, this is so funny. I got to surprise Jack. He thinks I'm going through all this casting, so he's giving me all this advice, and then I truthfully get to tell him I've been denied. And I just don't fill him back in that I get reaccepted after. So he gave me a bunch of advice, and that was one of his advices. Hey, you'll have a conversation with someone one day, and it might be 2-3 days before you have like a private conversation with them again. Every conversation matters. And so that is my mantra here. And I'm glad you can see it right out the gate. My goal is I am wasting no text time. None. I am optimizing every conversation because that's all we have. That is the game. Yeah. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, haha, that was so fun and cool, got to know them and I'm drinking. No, if I'm having a conversation, fill me in on the first 2 days, 3 days that I missed.
Yeah, I mean, it fits your play style, obviously, but also like it just, I wasn't sure how much flexibility. And I know you said there was only maybe one conversation that didn't make the edit. Any interesting bits there or no? Just
nothing. It's like, honest to God. Yeah, it's me meeting the two players that come in after me. It's a conversation with us, and it's just boring. And this is my one wasted conversation. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get to know them better because they're new. But in all honesty, it was just a fail, a flop. And it didn't make the edit. And it took me like till after the whole season was over to be like, oh yeah, that was never even there. Like it was so insignificant to it all.
Yeah. Okay, I have a question about one of the first things I noticed from you is a shirt that you're wearing, the Strategic AF shirt. I want to know the origins of this because I'm always interested in the fashion. Here, I'm going to expose myself to the people that aren't watching the video at this point. This
Yeah.
is so weird that I did this, to be
Yeah.
honest, some fanboy of me. But there was like a Twitter thread at the time when you were on the circle talking about your sweater.
My
And they were like, we
fashion.
love the sweater. Where do you get the sweater? And I was like, I do love that sweater. And I was like, I'm going to find that sweater. And I found it on like some
Yeah.
resale site. And I'm
Yeah.
wearing it today. I'm wearing the Alex Brizard sweater. So again,
So
although that is weird, I'm curious what was the origin of the Strategic AF shirt specifically?
yeah.
And any other outfit tidbits you want to share?
So the Strategic AF is a secret Santa gift from a good friend of you and my Miss Susie Garcia. Back before I was on the circle, she got that for me and I loved it. And I was like, this is my opening wardrobe. There is nothing better to hit the circle with than this. The sweater, fun story. When I was in college, I was at a garage sale and it was the last day of the garage sale and it was on a table and it said $1. And I said, is this only $1? And she looked at the sign and she goes, it's the last day. It's only 50 cents. I walked out of there. I gave 2 quarters for the best sweater of my whole life. And during the live airing, it was one of the most things I got DM'd about, if I'm being honest, was that sweater. And I didn't wear it today because I knew you were going to wear it.
I almost thought about telling you.
Yeah.
I didn't even know if you would remember that I did this because,
I did.
honestly, I bought it and then I was like, "Is this weird that I did this?" I still don't know.
I love it.
I wear it all the time.
You're one of the few people who found it. I got people. They message me. It's always fun. So no, I definitely remembered that. Cool. So that's why I didn't wear it today. But the fashion was something I took like. I was so scared. I was like, oh my God, I got to bring like my best outfits. And I was like, fun, fashion. Yeah. And so I feel like I did well on my fashion, contrary to my real life where I'm not very fashionable.
You did. So let's dive into, now that you're into the game a little bit more, this is a really interesting, shadow of your season. The Spice Girls is part of your season. This was like, I told you, I texted you, I was like, I forgot that they were like a part of this. I have a lot of thoughts on the Spice Girls. One thing specifically, though, they did end up fooling you. You did not think that Jared was the Spice Girls. So what do you think? How did the Spice Girls fool you? Let's start there.
I think, one, I was just so gagged the Spice Girls were even there. I was such a fan of them in the 90s. Granted, my cousins, I have 3 girl cousins I grew up very close with. They were much bigger fans, but like everyone in the world knows the Spice Girls. They like... It, to me, is how I actually relate my reality TV experience to normies now. I'd be like, hey, I actually got to play with 2 of the Spice Girls, and people always lose their mind. So, super cool. Absolutely unreal. I absolutely was mind blown by this, and I got to talk to them. I got a conversation where not only did I have a conversation with them, but they successfully fooled me. I really bought into Jared, but what's so great about this is I learned so much. This is one of my first conversations is with Jared, the Spice Girls. I really trusted Jared. I thought that I was like, oh, I'm making inroads with someone so quickly. This is just what I wanted. And so when that got pulled out from underneath me like 24 hours later, I was like, oh, okay. I need to re-examine how I'm actually approaching these conversations. I just fell for that like hook, line, and sinker when that's what I'm trying to do to other people. And so it actually made me build up a little bit of a wall in a good way. Like, okay, I can play with these people, but let's not get lulled in like we did with Jared. Jared was one person I was like, Jared is going to be one of my secret weapons. No one's going to know that we're so close. And then Jared's gone after, But so I have no qualms with being fooled by them. They played great.
Well, let me ask you this. So you say Jared was one of your first conversations. How does that become determined? What did you pick them? Because I remember you had 2 choices to talk to people up front. Or was that like a conversation? Like, how did these conversations start between you and the producers, I guess, is what I'm getting at.
Great question. It is probably the biggest flaw of the show, in all honesty, is that there's not maybe like a formal way to go about this more. But so, it's not my first conversation. My first conversation is with Brew and Frank. And it, as you mentioned, I'm digging for information. And I think pretty casually, I think pretty good. But so how these conversations on a normal day go is there are like there's a morning shift and like an evening shift. And in the morning, I'm talking to someone. There is a voice in my apartment at all times. It's two people. They split the day 12 hours. They're called Voices of God. And how they describe it is they are Team Nathan with me. They can't see in any other apartments what's going on. They do my typing. They talk to me. And, obviously if I'm bored, sometimes they talk to me too that way. In the morning, and then the afternoon shift. In the morning, you basically send like a request for your top 3 people you would like to talk to and why. And I think that's crucial. And I didn't understand the why of it all at first, but we'll get to that. But so that you submit 3. And so if I was like, okay, I want to have my conversations with Brew, Frank, and Yuling today in that order. I want to talk to Brew first, and then if not Frank and then Yuling, that's a good, I can always talk to her. That's good. And then they compare it to Brew's list and Frank's list and Yuling's list. And then there's another producer who basically schedules everyone's conversations for the first chunk of the morning. And you usually get 1, 2, maybe. And then there'll be, because there's usually games and events later, you'll get like 1 in the afternoon, maybe. And then you do the same thing for the afternoon, like what people, same people, different people that you want to talk to. So it is by no means perfect. The reason I brought up the why of it is there are times I feel like looking back on, if I didn't come up with like a solid reason as to why I needed or wanted to talk to someone, I don't think those conversation requests were taken as seriously. And so if I were to ever go back, that's one thing I now know. Every conversation is going to have an important purpose to the scheme of it all. Or there'd be times I'm like, oh, I just need to catch up with Brew. I haven't talked to him in a day or two. And they you know what I mean? That wasn't happening as much is what I caught on to. A little too late, probably.
Yeah. So I guess what I'm getting at is, I would maybe start to develop frustrations or at least skepticism about how these conversations would come up, because again, do you ever feel like you were pushed in a way to maybe be on Jared's side? I know that's a crazy question.
No, because Jared was one of the people I wanted to talk to. So it was like, because my first day, I probably gave an extensive list, probably more than 3. And so it's just like a cross thing. Like there's sometimes I got conversations that I didn't initiate, but it was because they wanted to talk to me. So it's not a perfect science. It's not like it has to be a mutual request thing. I genuinely think it goes by like importance. Like if someone's like, I need to tell Nathan this now, they're like, you know what? We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. And so at the end of the day, you do need to remember they're making a TV show. Like I do wish there was a more game element. And I've talked with other alumni. I think we all agree if there could be a more formal way for those conversations to happen, I think that would tighten so much up in my opinion.
Well, here's the other thing is the Spice Girls end up ratting you out about.
I know.
So I'm sitting here like, they fooled you now. They end up ratting you out, and then they're out of the game. It almost seems like I don't get it. I'm just saying, like, I don't necessarily love this game element of the Spice Girls being able to come in and like, where's the fairness in that? I guess.
No, I mean, it's not fair. It's not fair. There's no fairness, but it all boils down to, and people always have the conversation of like, is it fair for people to enter late? And so let's talk about the fairness of the Spice Girls, then we can talk about that. Okay. The fairness of the Spice Girls was they really liked Alyssa. What if I had won them over in our conversation? Maybe they don't rat me out. There's always a give and take as to how things got there. And this is part of the game, and this is why people sometimes don't like this. Maybe they didn't like my profile picture, but I picked that very purposefully. So that's okay in my opinion. If that's why they felt like they wanted to rat me out, whatever. So to me, the fairness is not always necessarily, hey, we're starting everyone on this ground. Some people actually come in late. So they're literally starting on a different ground. The reason I think it works is because the fairness and the unfairnesses of every spot, in my opinion, kind of balance each other out. You argue someone comes in late, they don't have time to make the same connections and relationships that the other people have. They also haven't made any beef with anyone else in the game. They are coming in fresh. So while they maybe don't have any friendships, they don't have any enemies either. So it's a different position than the starting 8 people came in on, but I actually don't think it's as unfair as many people say it is.
Yeah. And maybe I am a little defensive, and that's my kind of my standpoint is I'm coming in and I do think of you as a late entry player. And my understanding of the circle in the past seasons is this is not a prime winning position. So I'm thinking the producer, right, as the guy that comes up with games is like, how do you average that back out? And I guess I have been on alert with that, and I'll bring it up as we go along even more. Is like, did they balance it back out for you a little bit? And did you feel like you had like truly a fair chance of winning, or was it just always an uphill battle? And like I said, we'll get into it more, but
for sure,
that's kind of, that's where I'm at.
I think it was definitely an uphill battle, but I don't think it was an unwinnable uphill battle. I definitely think winning was within my striking distance. I think 1, 2, 3 different things go differently. And I do think I am in that 1, 2, 3 spot in the finale. So we can get into that. But like I said, I think the best way I can phrase it is, while not everyone is starting on the same ground, I think everyone's got different problems and advantages for their spots. And it's how you play those hands. It's like cards. Not everyone is going to be dealt the same hand. It's how you play that hand that determines who wins.
Yeah, I like your attitude about it. That's a good way to, and I guess you've had a lot more time to think about it too.
Yeah.
But so let me ask you this. So you get the Spice Girls out. They earn an extra $50,000 for the prize pot. Has that ever happened in the circle before? That's huge for you, right?
It's never happened before, and it's never happened since.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Netflix, okay, we're watching Squid Games The Challenge, $4.5 million, right? What the hell? I mean, I get it. It is great. It's better than every other season, but $150,000.
Yeah, we've had this conversation too.
Listen, this is my blunt way of asking is, how much money did you get for going out there?
Oh, yeah. No, that's a good question. So for playing, and they, it's not like a placement fee because you're taking time off work. They give you what is called a disturbance fee. And so I get a disturbance fee, and I also get just $100 a day that I'm there. Or I guess that's actually the disturbance fee. And then my appearance fee, I made $5,000 just for going out there, and I got $100 a day for 6 weeks that I was gone. So I walked away with a decent chunk of change that I'm not upset by any means. But this is not like you do this for the year and you're set type deal. You know what I'm saying? I went back to work when I went home.
I'm really going to fight for you here. Like, I'm really where are you guys putting this money, guys?
I'm with you on that one. It's crazy to me. It's whatever.
So the next big moment for the season, I think, is this roast competition. This is kind of like, at least like the first like substantial competition I think that you're really in. What you get Nikki Glaser there? You excited about that?
I love Nikki Glaser, and since then, Nikki Glaser has just like skyrocketed in just like fame and popularity. And I feel like anytime I see the Spice Girls, I'm just like, that's my girl. Love them. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was on TV with them. So no, I think this is really fun because to me, these are the sort of games that progress the actual plot of what's going on here. So I love this.
So, and here's my thought, and I'm sure you were thinking the same, right? Similar to like maybe the coconut chop challenge in Survivor, this is a competition you might not want to be the best at.
That's right.
How much are you doglegging this, I guess?
Dogging all. I am coming up, and they don't show all of my roast because they're all so milquetoast. Okay. They're all middle of the road. They are all somewhere. I wanted to go because I knew if I tried to make him like an actual compliment, people would be like, bah, he's just kissing ass. So I was like, I'm going to make him an insult, but a bad insult. Like, I'm not going to go hard. So I'm sandbagging it. Especially, you know what? This is one of my positions because I'm new. I'm the new guy in the group. Well, I don't want to come in and start insult. And we kind of see how that works for Rachel. She makes some waves and it doesn't, it doesn't work the best. Well, I mean, it works out fine in the long run, but it causes some issues in the short run for her.
Yeah. Yeah, I loved it. That was a fun
Yeah.
competition. I want to ask about this next part of your game because it's a way bigger part of your game than I even remember. You are essentially in an entire showmance,
I know.
right, with Yu Ling, and there's a
Yep.
lot of like lovey-dovey conversation. You guys are like kind of sending nudes at one point. Like it gets
Look,
raunchy. So
I
I
am
want
not proud of this, but I did
listen,
I did some
think,
sexting on international television is what it felt
the thing,
like.
I understand because number one, coming in like you said, you're selling yourself. You want this has to be a prong of your game.
This has to be a part of what I'm doing here. Yeah.
And yeah. So yeah, go ahead.
No. No, I'm sorry. I cut you off. I'm just. It
Yeah.
was weird. It was weird. I always knew it could happen, and the worst part is like if I'm doing my job well, it will happen. Did I think it was going to happen so fast and heavy? No. Do I like? Am I able to look back on it and see the humor and the like? It's part of the show, yeah. But I won't lie. In the moment, I'm mortified. It is
Was
so
your
hard.
mom or like your family, anybody, like any conversations about this?
I'll be honest. The one I'm not worried about my mom. I'm not worried about my dad. I'm a little worried about like I have a younger sister. I'm like that's gonna be awkward. Okay. The one I was most worried about though was actually Nikki's parents. I was like, let's just have them skip that. They don't need to see any of that. It doesn't like I was like they don't need to see any of that. And they watched it. They were fine. They understand. I think when you have people who understand it's a game and a show, they know this is part of it. Like I am playing a catfish. It's totally different if I'm sitting there with pictures of myself even and pretending to be single. But like this is not me in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. They were very funny scenes that like it didn't like bring it down by any means. I knew that like just knowing you personally, I was like that had to be weird for your family and everything. But I totally understood like strategically, and I feel like it actually did actively help you in a lot of situations.
That's the other thing is it is a big prong of my game, as you say. I'm prepared to do it, but I didn't know it was like Yu Ling becomes one of my full lifelines in the game, and so she's when I realize she is becoming one of the most popular people there. It just causes me to glom onto her even more. I'm like, I'll ride your coattails to the end. That is my strategy. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a Yu Ling or a Brew to become the biggest player in the game and get taken out right at the end, and I slide into the finale and win. Yeah. That is what I'm hoping for. And so Yu Ling fell into my lap. Like I didn't even go searching for it, and it worked out perfectly.
Yeah. So and that brings me into my next point, because there's one instance where it doesn't pay off, and I'm still not even sure why. I don't think they explain it even well in the edit, but we get to the cyber attack, which is essentially, it ends up being a safety chain, but it goes in ways that I was not expecting by any means. Yu Ling has the opportunity to save you and does not, and I still, for the life of me, can't figure out what happened there. But
so it is solely, and if it's not Rachel, I want to be clear, it's not me either. So I am third or fourth. So here's how it went down: is Frank, Rachel, and Yu Ling very recently, before the cyber attack, form their circle of trust, their 3-person alliance. So when Frank picks Yu Ling, she in her mind is like, Frank is expecting me to pick Rachel now. So I think she wanted to pick Rachel, don't get me wrong, but we see she's conflicted. I think her first choice is actually Alyssa, if I'm being honest. I think that's who she saves if she doesn't feel this external pressure from this new alliance that they just made, Frank, Rachel, and her. But I'll be honest, and I think I texted you this cyber attack, from the photo leaking all the way to the safety chain, I think is maybe one of the most exciting sequences the Circle has ever done.
I think it's really interesting. Again, like just the safety chain aspect, I think is really cool. I think you get a fun moment where you're like, it's like a chain. And I just thought that was so funny, especially after coming out of like what the year of 2020 was and our involvement with safety chains. It felt really meta in that respect. So
this is actually funny. I do call it a safety chain out there, and they edit the word safety out. It is because it's not, I don't know why. To this day, I do not know why. but you can see they're not focused on my mouth. That's like the back of my head when I'm saying it. I 1000% say, oh, this is like a safety chain, because that is my terminology. I don't say it's like a chain. So, yeah, before the safety chain, though, we get into these photo leaks. And this is one of my dirty tricks I have stored from before I'm even on the show. I have a list in my book of Alex's dirty little tricks, and this is the number one. Is when we're leaking these photos, I get a photo of Alyssa, and she's in Rome, and I make up a conversation that never happened. And it's not about Alyssa's reaction and like you're lying. I'm anonymous. It is about the public. It is about what everyone else is seeing and internalizing in their apartments. And so I just say, Alyssa, in one of our first conversations, you told me you'd never been to Europe. How do you explain this photo? And people lost their mind. It's my favorite clip of the whole thing is people freak out when they read that question. And in the safety chain, spoilers, Alyssa ends up going, I think this plays a part in it. I think this plays a part because this is the last thing most of them have in their minds before we go into that safety chain.
Yeah. Yeah, and with limited conversations like we've talked about, like that
Yes.
that is like I think sometimes on reality TV I'm trained to expect or expand upon what's been happening. Like I'm sorry, oh, there's 3 days of conversations in this one episode.
Yeah.
It's like, no, these were the conversations. So like if it's big to us, it's big to y'all. And yeah, it played well.
Yeah. But I love that safety chain. I think the safety chain, there's 1, 2, there's like 3 really just jaw on floor decisions. The 2 new players, Everson and Amani, they pick Frank. Typical. And then Frank picks Yuling. And not everyone, I knew Frank and Yuling were close, but this to me is, to me at least, a little bit of a shock. I did not know they were this close. You know what I mean? He has his pick of the field. He can pick anyone in the house, and he picked Yuling. I was like, I did not know they were that close. And then Yuling picking Rachel is maybe the most shocked I was the entire time I was out there. I could not fathom any reason it's not me, Alyssa, maybe Brew, because I know she likes Brew. She picked Rachel, who I knew she had 0. And you even see Alyssa, she's like, what is happening in these conversations that I'm not in? Like Alyssa's like ready to rip her hair out. Like, what is going on right now? And watching that scene is really hard knowing Alyssa now, because like it's a slow descent into madness as she watches all of her allies not pick her.
Yeah. That would be maddening for me.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I want to know your relationship with Rachel, because at the very beginning, I think you do something I think is also crucial and just probably just second nature for you to do. You come in and I feel like you almost feel like you have to push Rachel down, right? It's both of you and it's going to be you or her.
Yeah.
And like, it does seem like, but there is a shift at a point where by the end, I would say maybe she was your number one ally.
She is my number one ally and she passes me in popularity. So I maybe should have stuck with my gut. But Rachel to me, when I'm in the house, I think Rachel is playing as hard of a game as I am. On watching, it is clear she's not. She's very vibes based. Love Rachel to death.
She literally says, "I'm not playing strategically."
Exactly. Yeah. This is not an insult or like news. But when I'm there, because it looks like she's attacking Mama Carol, because she's doing these things in these games, I was like, Rachel's here to play. I was like, this is my type of person. And so I throw out, hey, we're both new. We came in at the same time. Let's work together. And I didn't expect it to go too many places, but it's a crucial moment in my game. She saves me in that safety chain. Now, it playing out, I don't think that I end up going, but the 2 people I'm waiting on are Yuling and Brew in that to save me. And so when Yuling didn't, I was like, oh my God, my chances just like, and Brew has other people he needs to pick too. So I don't think I end up going, but in that moment, when Yuling doesn't pick me, I'm like, oh, I got a big chance of going here. Oh, I got a big chance of leaving tonight.
Yeah, you definitely dodged some bullets.
That's my whole game. And granted, I don't want to say it's by design, but I'm trying not to be the leader of the group. So I guess I should have expected the bullet dodging more, but my whole game is hanging on by the skin of my teeth, if I'm being honest.
I want to talk about the next big kind of competition we get here, and this is where we're painting pictures of people, and you end up painting the snake, which I think it probably was one of the notes on your list of like evil things.
It's one of my dirty little deeds. Yeah.
I really enjoyed this. I thought this, any opportunity you can to like get a shot off at somebody is really good. But I'm curious also, like, was the snake specific to Frank? If somebody else, if you had gotten a different name, would you have drawn a snake? Would you have done something else? Would it have been more tame? Or was it specifically taking a shot at Frank?
That's a good question. I think the words are to really make it look like it's personalized to Frank. But I'll be honest, my goal in that is I'm painting anyone as a snake, because the more lovable the person is and someone draws them as a snake, the more of a gag it is. The mental So here's back to my move, my favorite move that I do, the Alyssa lie. Brew at this point in the game, his alliances are Alyssa and Mama Carol, with Yuling kind of on the side. Everyone in the game basically knows Mama Carol's a catfish, including Brew. He says it. He verbalizes it. If she's a catfish, it's okay. We still have loyalty. We're sticking together. When I come up with my lie about Alyssa, Brew in that moment, in the same episode as saying he doesn't care Mama Carol's is a catfish, says, "This is bad news bears if Alyssa's a catfish. She's one of my closest allies here, and I never even thought she'd be a catfish." So it doesn't even matter that he's playing with catfish. The moment the shatter of the glass happens, it happens. And so I almost wish I got like a Rachel or a Yuling or like someone so unsuspecting. It almost, because Frank is the top dog, there's a bit of plausibility of people being like, someone just wants to take him down. But if I did it to like a Brew, people would have been like, second guessing everything that Brew's ever said to them.
Yeah.
And so these are the moments. These are the moments that make the circle interesting, is the impression that I can make with maybe like a lie, something that's not even like fully true. Like, if that's what sticks in someone's mind, it is so hard to get it out. It's so hard to get out with these limited conversations.
Yeah, and like I said, I think you're very actionable. I think that's the thing about your game, and I think the thing that I like about it is that you leave no, like I mentioned with the conversations at the beginning and probing for information, but also now like taking every opportunity in these competitions. I think this is just where you shine. Like you are just like you're really full force in a way that I haven't seen on the circle before. So
that's my goal. That is my goal coming in, is I'm wasting no time. And it's like I said, this is what's interesting to me about the show is I think it's like that Key and Peele sketch where two people are reading the same text, but they got like totally different inflections. Those are always my favorite scenes in the circle, when someone's like, "Oh yeah, man, it's so great to hear from you." And someone's like, "So great to hear from me. Why? Were they expecting to hear from me? I can't believe they would say that." Like one person's like not thinking about it and the other person reads it totally different. These are my moments where if I can shade someone as shady, snake, whatever, everything they say from then on, people kind of they question it a little. It runs through is he just being Mr. Nice Guy now?
Yeah. What do you think about the painting of yourself? That was, you got a weird, I can't remember who did it, but I mean, it almost looked like someone took a photo of you and painted Alex Brizard.
It's spooky. It's so accurate. My mom asks, "How would he have seen you before?" That's how good it is. My mom misunderstood the whole rules of the thing again for a moment to be like, "How did he see you?" That's how good his painting is. I literally grab a shirt that I own and say, he painted the shirt like beat for beat. He's got a beard. It's spooky good. It's a moment I should be like devastated and really hurt, but it's so accurate. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But it was Trevor.
It probably, I think it goes back to like your casting, and it is kind of like the natural opposite. I think you really are the natural opposite to Nathan.
Trevor is someone who understands the meta of the game and production because his wife won. He has a jack like me. He's gone through this probably more in depth with Delisa than I have. I love Trevor. Trevor is one of my best friends coming off the season, and so I got nothing respect for his game. He came in later than I did, and almost actually did it. And so I think that, like I said, I should be mad in this moment. I'm impressed, and I'll be honest. This is the beginning of the end for me. This marks my first bell chime. If it's 3 bells till my death, this is the first one, I think.
Yeah.
I have all 3, actually. Now that I say that, I have all 3 in my head. This is the first one.
Go ahead, let's do them.
This is the second one, actually. The first one is after the data breach, Brew and Yuling fight in the public chat, and I'm loving it. The first bell happens off screen. I don't even know. Brew and Yuling make up. What? I don't know they make up, so I'm pulling the rest of my game that these two hate each other from here on in.
Yeah.
So that's the first bell. Second bell is this photo. And this is the loudest of the bells. This is what does me in. This is where Yuling, this is what I'm talking about, is one glass shatter can ruin it all. This is where Yuling's like, I didn't even think about if he was a catfish. Like, this is now ringing in her head in the end game. So this is the loudest bell. And then it's bookends. The last bell in my game is Brew and Frank makeup after they start fighting. It's crazy, dude. These things happen off screen that I don't know about, and they are the final chimes in my book, if you will.
I want to talk about next a cameo. I forgot that she had an entire. Her face was on screen. Nikki, you got a loved ones video. I thought that was so awesome. I thought her message was awesome. I thought it also perfectly encapsulated not just how she thinks about things, but how you think it, like, and how you guys think together. Because she even says, "Play with your head, not your heart." And I was like, "Of course, that's what you guys would say to each other."
But are you ready for this though? On day, this is day 11 of me being in there. I'm having a hard time actually at the end emotionally. I know it's not many days there, but I'm feeling the walls closing in on me after that photo. And so I know I need to do something to secure my spot. And so I needed this video. This is one of the most special moments in my entire life. I never needed it more than when it arrived. And it's just kind of spooky how that sort of thing works. Like a day earlier, and I would have been like, this is nice. So glad to see her. But like, because it's at the time it is, I break down. I'm sobbing. And they don't really show it, but I'm crying for like a whole hour after the video's even done. Like, I'm just like, I need to do this. I need to lock in. It's like, I'm here. I'm right. I need to finish it. And so I need this. I need to hear Play with My Head, not my heart. Because then it informs, I think, also my next and biggest and final move.
Yes, I think maybe just like on paper, it's the easiest thing to point at, and maybe I could say your best move, just because like it really is the difference.
Actionable item.
And I love the way they set this up in the edit, because it really is a cause and effect of, you see the situation you're in. You were just second to last in the rankings. That person went home. Now you're next in line.
I'm next in line, and last person at home is going home, and it was me last time, and Carol's gone.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. This is my moment, and it's such a shame because how the scheduling works, we all know the finale's tomorrow. I know the numbers are off. In my head, know there is gotta be a double elimination coming.
I see. Okay.
I'm the only one thinking about it, as far as I can tell. But I just know the scheduling, and I know there's a double elimination coming. Granted, in the moment I hear the twist of last person home going, I don't think there's anything I can do to change this, but I forget about it completely. I'm like, this is my hurdle right now. I need to pass this. So I'm not even thinking about how do I get to the finale. It's how do I survive this moment?
Yeah. Yeah, and so you put Brew at the bottom of the rankings. He comes out, and then he comes to visit you. I want to know about this, because you do the right thing, which is you own up to everything you do to him in the moment. But it had to be so weird and so awkward for you to like just be like, I mean, you're here, like you came to visit me, cool. Maybe you had skepticisms or whatever, but like you're here because of me. What was that like?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, it's really funny when they do the someone's gonna come see you. Once again, just being a fan of the show, I know it's gonna relate to the story of what we've been seeing. I know Alyssa's more than likely not gonna come see me. We've had like one conversation. Like it's just that's not. I know, like, you know what I'm saying. And so, Brew's the first person that I'm like, oh my god, he might come see me. Oh, he might come see me, and so I am in real time. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm sitting on my couch and I am toying with what you are saying. Do I tell him right now or do I let him wait 6 months to a year and watch it on TV? And O'Rear, this is one of the hardest things I've ever had to do because I say he does get to leave a goodbye message. He can't like say names, but he could like, and so
Yeah.
I black out, but I think I decide like I'm not gonna tell him. But in the course of conversation, I just knew I kind of needed to. I knew I would feel better. I knew he would feel better. And so I just, as you could tell, like the stuff kind of slowly comes out. It's not all at once. It's like, okay, and there's this other thing I need to tell you. And there's one more thing. And so it's really hard, and this is something for anyone that wants to go on reality TV. I'm really proud of the move I make 30 minutes before I see Brew. I'm elated. I survived. I did it. I did what I needed to do. Now I have to like face my consequences. And there's a road here where I just go, oh, it was so fun playing with you. I love you, man, bro. Sorry I was a catfish. Where I don't tell him. But I just don't think I would have felt right. Like for me, I love being competitive, cutthroat, dirty in the game. But when the game's over, and I think that's what I needed to remember is I wasn't done yet, and I think that's what was holding me back. His game was over. He deserved to know how he actually got to where he was, and I was the only one who had that information at the time. So I felt I owed it to him, and in all honesty, I'm glad I did it. It makes such a better TV product than if I were to just like pussyfoot around it and be like, okay, bye. Yeah. So but rightfully, as you pointed out, it was really hard. I'm not gonna lie, it was really hard.
Yeah. But again, I think it just shows your character. And I think I'm curious about like the reception a little bit as well, because you were such a villain. And like, I'm sure like the casual Netflix audience didn't necessarily love every aspect of that. But I think, like you said, when it comes to like the human moments in this game, you got, and maybe this is what I mean when I say you had like this miracle edit, because we got to see this full human that you are. We got to see like the good, the bad, the flaws, your relationship outside the game, all of this stuff. It all plays into, and the fact that you are able to play these games and then step out back and be like, you know, it is just a game. I'm going to leave it in there.
So
yeah,
I think you are bringing up something so interesting to me. So on the week by week watching, there's two different forms of reception I've gotten. The Circle airs in 3 batches of 4 episodes and a finale the 4th week. So for 1 month, people are watching live. So I'm leaving that reception out for a moment. The reception of people who binge it later, I have gotten so many people that were like, you were such a little shitster, or I hated you until you spoke with your girlfriend, until you owned up to Brew like everything you had done. I have had people in my DMs say, like, you were annoying me until I saw those 2 moments you're pointing out. And so I think, like you're saying, I am so grateful. I felt like my edit got it all. Like, I left it all out there. Like, if I had a checklist of things I wanted to accomplish in the circle, the only thing I didn't check off was win. I checked off every single other thing on my box. And, like, so I love getting reception from people now. The reception I get now is very much kind of what you were saying, best player I've ever seen, you were robbed. When it was going on, that was not the reception I got. That was not the reception I got at all. Yeah. It was bad. It was really bad. I got a lot of hate. And I didn't know this when I was playing, but Brew was a micro celebrity, and now he's like a real celebrity. So Brew's got a lot of fans, and most of them are super nice, but like some of them took it personally, and some of them, I think what people don't understand is they like feel like you and we've been friends for 6 years. They feel like I pooped on a friend's dream of someone I've known for like half my life. I just met Brew through a screen. He could be his grandmother for all I know. Sorry, but these people think that I am just like a scummy person because of what I did to Brew, the lie I did for Alyssa. There are some casual Netflix fans that I realize just don't like anyone that catfishes. So there's that issue. They're like, yeah, but you're a liar since you catfish. And I'm like, you realize like there's always going to be catfish in a season. Like, it's so annoying. But the reception I got, and this is made me a better person. But I went through a shitstorm while it was airing. And it was really disappointing because to me, I wanted to come in. So you look at like a Survivor, the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seasons, low strategy. You get a guy like Rob Cesternino who comes in, injects some adrenaline into the game, and it slowly dominoed into some of the crazy. The very next season, we see Johnny Fairplay, who's trying to imitate him, do some of the crazy stuff we've seen. It just, his moves and him just playing so authentically and competitively changed the course of Survivor history forever. And so in my mind, I felt like I had that duty to the circle. This is my job. I'm going to come in as a Survivor and a Big Brother fan, and I'm going to inject some math and logic into these vibes that everyone keeps talking about. And I didn't expect everyone to like it, but I thought there would be a group of people that are like, this is such a breath of fresh air from what we've gotten. And unfortunately, I didn't meet those fans till well after it was done airing live. The people that watched live, they hated me. I was the villain. And I knew I was going to be a villain. I address it in my intro package. It's not like this was a surprise to me. It was just the pie chart. I thought the pie chart might look a bit different than it did. But that being said, I got through all that. I am a stronger person because of it. I know the best advice I ever got, and I'll share this with everyone, because I was taking some of these things hard. I was taking these random comments kind of hard. I'm not going to lie. And someone told me, if you wouldn't take advice from that person, why would you take criticism from them? And it like really changed my brain chemistry. Why? People are always shouting criticisms, but I'm not taking advice from you. Why would I take criticism from you? It's a good reminder that you have your circle of people and what they tell you is your reality. Don't trust these people online. But yeah, I mean, it has like soured my taste on social media a little as a whole. Not that I liked social media and I was really active before, but like I just like, and it's not even like me tweeting things and I was getting attacked. That's not what was happening. It's just like the whole vibe of social media. Like I was once that reality TV person that maybe would be like, so-and-so on Survivor's voice is so annoying. But now I look at that tweet a little differently. Like, is that constructive? Is that actually like helping? Is that interesting? Like, is that a fresh take? And so it has like drastically changed my way I talk about reality TV online. And so I think what people can take also is there's a way to criticize people and their games and what they're doing without like applying these aspects to their entire life. Like the ones that really bugged me, and I'm rambling, were the ones that would reach out to Nikki and be like, your boyfriend's evil. He's the devil. You like people that like would think like I am like yelling at her or like abusing her in ways. And I'm like, wow, like that is what you got from me playing a game on the thing. And a lot of these people, and this is one that stops people in their tracks, which tells me these are a lot of new reality TV fans. But I go, do you expect someone in poker not to lie? Because that would be absurd. It's against the spirit of the game. And that's unfortunately what we have going on here, is a game. So the reception has been hot and cold for me. But I am really grateful that I actually went through both, if I'm being honest. And I kind of love that people either love me or hate me. I don't really have people that leave the season and are like, who? Like they leave the season.
Thank God,
yeah, they leave the season and they're like, yeah, and I think part of what you're saying is I think the second half of the season, I'm really the only one in there moving the story along, the plot.
Yeah.
And so it becomes much more highlighted, I think, when you're binging versus watching 4 episodes a week or whatever.
What I'm gathering is it honestly sounds like everybody needs to try reality TV and get the taste of, like, get these people in the comment section. Like, okay, you think you can do it? Let's get up there, see how you handle the criticism too.
I agree with that too. Is it's not even these people that are like, oh, when reality TV people are always like, oh, you couldn't handle it. They're not talking about like Survivor, Big Brother. They're talking about like the experience, which is much more.
Couldn't handle you.
Couldn't handle punks like you. Yeah, it is crazy what people will say behind the guise of like their screen though, and I think that really was something that like I knew existed, but it's much crazier seeing up close and personal.
Yeah. Well, Briz, I feel like the only thing we haven't really touched on is you had a visit with Yu Ling. But is there anything else, like, kind of like on closing your story, leaving the game? Any other final thoughts about like?
Fun fact: I am the only person in Circle history to visit 2 people in one night. It's never happened before, and it's never happened since. This is the craziest night of my life, if I'm being honest. It's just an insanity, and so. It doesn't even end for me. Normally when you get eliminated, they send you back to wherever you were staying before the circle. Because the finale is in like 12 hours, they just had me sleep in my apartment for the night.
Okay.
And it was the most peaceful sleep I had, is me out of the game sleeping like a baby. So I always think that's an interesting fun fact. But so the thoughts I want to end on, I took some good notes here, and I think it's a big summation, and there's 3 categories, and I'll kind of go through them. And I think it's just a summation of I'll read the categories. It's a summation of what I wanted to happen before and while I was there. It's some notes on what I thought was happening while I was there, and then the issues I ran into. And we kind of covered some of these, but so what I want to happen is I want the big dogs, Frank, Yu Ling, and Brew, to be fighting. I want to be low ranked the entire game, and I want those 3 to take each other out. I didn't know that they would all be so friendly and love each other, even after fighting with each other. Could not have predicted that. And so that is part of my issue, is where things go wrong, is I'm working under the assumption these people are fighting or going to fight. I am always under the assumption that in the final hour, Frank and Yu Ling are going to realize they are the 2 powerhouses, and the only one standing in each other's way is the other one. And so in my strategy, if I've set everything up perfectly, the super secret influencer of Frank should have taken out Yu Ling. This is my whole issue with the game that I played. I went into the game assuming everyone was going to be playing on either my level or similar. Big mistake. There are people that you need to, and part of, I wasn't able to accurately pick up their maybe play styles because I'm just having these text conversations with them. And maybe if it's face-to-face, I realize, oh, Rachel is way more vibes-oriented than I'm picking up on. Oh, Brew is not doing this strategically. He's just a golden retriever. I'm not attributing... If I know this, I can maybe accurately predict their moves more. But in my situation is Frank or Yu Ling should be that super secret influencer, and there's no reason they don't take out the other one, except for friendship, which I could not calculate into my math equation at the end of the day. So... that's what happened. That was my game plan, was I was trying to stay low to middle of the pack. And that way, when I go into the finale, people feel safe rating me high if they're trying to mess with things. And I sneak out a win. Realistically, knowing how the friendship angle works and goes in the end game, I do think now my ceiling is like a 2nd or a 3rd. If Frank is there, he's winning, is what happens. And so as much as the story would be fun of, oh, I'm 1 place away from winning, if Frank is there, he gets all 1st place and a 2nd in this final rating. No one rates him lower than, no one rates him lower than 2nd.
A lot of your game is
that's
really
crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy to me. I'm sorry. Go ahead with what you're saying.
You know, you have a really like double-edged sword game where like a lot of like for instance, you come in as like the highest caliber strategic player, and that seems like a good thing on face, and it is, and you get a good edit and all this other stuff. But then also you can't calculate these unpredictable people just playing with their hearts.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is also with your final rankings, literally because you were able to save yourself by putting Brew at the bottom, those rankings came back and put Frank at the top. So like you had a very interesting seesaw of a game.
Yeah. I wish I had made the finale, even though I'm not winning. I do think me and Brew standing like in the final two for that reveal, I think that maybe is the best moment the circle could provide, is the ultimate hero versus the ultimate villain. And I feel like I let the fans down by not sneaking through one more. So it's real rough. I for a while was thinking if I sneak through, my strategy wins, but seeing how these players ranked and what was important to them, that's probably not realistically the case, but second place would have been sweet.
Yeah, well, I think you still you injected a lot of life into the game to begin with. You really are like the current of strategy throughout the entire thing. So again, I'm super complimentary of your game, and I appreciate you coming to talk to us about it. I'm curious though, what's next for Alex Brizard? What do you got your eye on?
You know, I am. I'm probably not going to be on reality TV again, just realistically. I would love to play the Traders. That's not in my cards. I'm not famous enough. They don't do Netflix.
They don't let you, do they? Will they let Netflix?
There's a Studio Lambert thing. I think it's a professional courtesy that Studio Lambert is affording Netflix because Netflix wants a whole Netflix cinematic universe. It's a whole thing. I would love to play. I'm obsessed with Traders. I think it's the most fun game show out there right now. So I would obviously play that, but I'm not going to. So these are like wish lists. The chip on my shoulder, like the thing that like drives me, is I would love to play a Circle All-Stars. I feel very confident I would win. I feel I have all the puzzle pieces, and I think I have them all together now. And so I would love to do a Circle All-Stars. Do I think that's happening? No. The Circle has rose from the dead once before, and we got a season 6 and 7. So is the Circle done? For now.
Here's the thing. Netflix is not done. So I feel like this stuff, you can never fully kill this stuff. You know, Netflix is going to be here long after us. And at any point, they could revive this stuff.
Look, I feel so confident, too. I know my Circle cohorts, they're not studying up. So I will give you a little bit of my strategy going into All-Stars. I'm doing the same exact fucking thing I did before. Sorry for cursing.
Yeah,
I was right there. I did everything right. And here's the one thing I'm going to change. I'm going to do a new catfish. I'm not going to be me. I'm going to play the golden boy himself, Brew. That's my dream. I come back, I catfish as Brew with his face and my brains and his magnetic personality. I am storming this castle and no one could stop me. No one could stop me. And so that's my dream. And call me up, Netflix. Let's make it happen. It'll be dramatic as hell. That's the other thing that people don't realize is when I'm winning, it's not a slow, boring slog to the finish. It is fireworks the entire time we get there. So that's my dream. I have a chip on my shoulder that I would love to play the Circle again because I feel confident I can win it. I feel very confident I can win it.
You know what? I feel confident that it's a possibility too. I'm not putting
Fingers
you seem
crossed.
more dead on it, but I think it could happen. So
fingers crossed.
Yeah. Okay, Alex, what else? I know you're podcasting these days. Anything you want to plug? Where can people find you online?
If you're interested, I have a podcast called Two Dudes Watch Cartoons. We cover animated properties. You can check us out anywhere at Two Dudes Watch Cartoons. You listen to podcasts. That's about it. You can follow me, A Wild Briz, on any social media. I'm just, I'm always dipping my toe in and out of reality TV stuff. So probably more games and whatnot. Nothing high profile, but I'm around here and there. And, I love Reality Miniverse. I'll be back in the ring. I always tell you I'm done. and you've gotten me like 4 games after I'm done. This is my last
one more invite coming.
There has to be
one. See, there's got to be like a legend. I don't know. You know, we'll see. But
I'm a 2-time runner-up. This drive I have for the circle, multiply that by twice. So I'm there. It's not done. My saga in Reality Miniverse will never come to an end. But yeah, you'll see me around. I'll be here doing this and that, and I hope for the people in Reality Miniverse, maybe this is giving you a little look-see inside of how I play and why I'm so intense. It's not because I'm mean and scary. I just love the game. I just love playing, and I like playing with some or most of you. And that's why I talk fast and loud, and I scream and I argue. It's because I care.
Yeah, we're cut from the same cloth, Alex, so I'm there with you for sure. All right, guys, I think that's all we got for you. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you guys next time.